All right, buckle up, everybody, because we are diving headfirst into one of the biggest rivalries in all of football, the Derby d'Italia.
That's right.
This Sunday, Juventus and Inter Milan are going head-to-head in Turin.
Huge match.
And we're here at Tips Moto to give you all the insights you need to make some seriously smart bets.
Smart bets. Yeah.
We're talking about the Champions League race, the Serie A title fight,
Oh, yeah.
and some behind-the-scenes intel that you won't find anywhere else. So let's set the stage here. This match is absolutely massive. Juventus are fighting tooth and nail for a Champions League spot.
Scrapping.
And Inter.
Well, they've got their eyes on the title, no doubt about it.
Exactly. And remember that crazy 4-4 draw last time these two met?
Oh, man, 8 goals, pure chaos.
Kenan Yıldız's late double for Juventus to snatch a draw was absolutely insane, but it wasn't a fluke. Inter hasn't managed to beat Juventus in their last 3 Serie A matches.
That's going to be playing on their minds for sure.
So, is it fair to say Inter have a bit of a Juventus problem?
Well, when we look at the data, one thing that jumps out is Inter's midfield. They've been really effective at disrupting Juventus's build-up play. And on top of that, Inter's finishing has been clinical.
Deadly.
Yeah, so even on Juventus's home turf, they're going to be a tough nut to crack.
Now, speaking of home turf, Juventus are unbeaten at home this season, and they're coming off 2 straight wins in Serie A.
Momentum's building.
And their new signing, Randal Kolo Muani. Oh, man, the guy is on fire. 5 goals in his last 3 appearances.
He's a real threat for sure, but there's a but. We've spotted a potential weakness in our analysis, set pieces. Juventus have really struggled to defend them, and guess what? Inters are incredibly creative on set pieces.
Ah, interesting.
It's something to keep an eye on.
Definitely a red flag for Juventus. And let's not forget their defensive woes. Bremer, Kalulu, Cabal, Cambiaso, Kelly, Luiz, they're all out.
Oof, that's rough.
It's a defensive crisis. Plus, they had that midweek European match. Tired legs against a well-rested Inter.
Could be a factor late in the game. You gotta figure Inter will be fresher. And speaking of Inter, they are just 1 point behind Napoli at the top of the table.
1 point.
And they're coming off a solid 2-1 win against Fiorentina. They're definitely contenders.
They're looking dangerous, especially with their away form.
Yeah, they've been dominant on the road.
Dominant.
Leading the league in both goals scored and goals conceded.
Incredible.
But they did stumble recently. That 3-0 loss to Fiorentina shows they can be vulnerable.
True, true. Okay, so we've got a real clash of styles here. Juventus might be vulnerable at the back.
Definitely a possibility.
But they have that firepower up front. And Inter, well, they're incredibly solid.
Organized.
But maybe not unbeatable. And now, let's throw another wrench into the mix. Juventus's manager, Thiago Motta,
Oh, boy.
is notorious for his unpredictable lineups and tactics,
Oh, yeah. He keeps everyone guessing.
predicting his starting 11.
Even our supercomputer struggles with that one. But we have heard some rumblings, some whispers from the training ground. Samuel Mbangula is pushing for a start. He scored in that midweek European game.
He's in form.
And we might see Kefren Thuram, Toot Miners, and Francisco Conchicao back in the mix.
All right, so Juventus have some serious attacking options. What about Inter? Is Marcus Thuram fit? He's been battling that ankle injury.
That's the million-dollar question. His fitness is a major talking point, and we'll be keeping a close eye on that one. We'll have all the latest updates on our social media channels.
So if he can't go, what do you think?
It's a toss-up. They could go with the experience of Marko Arnautovic,
Veteran presence?
or the pace and energy of Mehdi Taremi.
Interesting.
And of course, there's Lautaro Martinez, who is on the verge of making history. 1 more goal, and he becomes the first foreign Inter striker to hit double digits in 6 Serie A seasons.
Wow. This match has it all.
It really does.
But don't worry, here at Tips Moto, we've got you covered.
Absolutely.
We've analyzed every angle, crunched all the stats
Every possible detail.
to bring you the most comprehensive preview and the smartest betting tips. We'll be back in a moment to dig even deeper into the tactical side of this clash of the Titans.
Don't miss it.
We'll be right back.
All right, so we've talked about the stakes, the recent form, but now let's get into the real nitty-gritty,
Yeah.
the tactical battle that could decide this Derby d'Italia.
I like it. So we've got Juventus potentially going all-out attack, but with that shaky defense against Inter's rock-solid away form and that set-piece threat. What's Tips Moto's take on the tactical chess match we're likely to see on Sunday?
Well, first you got to consider Juventus's manager, Thiago Motta. The guy is unpredictable, you know.
Oh, absolutely.
One game it's possession-based, the next it's high press, forcing turnovers.
He keeps everyone guessing.
Makes it really hard for opponents to prepare, and to be honest, it makes it hard for us to predict what he's going to do too.
Yeah, it's like trying to read tea leaves sometimes. I mean, last season he benched his star striker in a crucial match. Everyone thought he was crazy.
Yeah.
And it ended up being a stroke of genius.
That's Motta for you, always keeping us on our toes. But we've been studying his tendencies, his formations, his substitutions.
You guys are deep in the data.
That's what we do. And our analysis suggests he might just be tempted to exploit Inter's one weakness: quick counterattacks.
Oh, interesting.
Especially with the pace of players like Kolomuani and Bangla, they could cause some serious problems.
So we could see Juventus sit back, absorb the pressure, and then hit Inter on the break.
It's a definite possibility, but then you have to factor in Inter's strengths.
Right, they're not just going to roll over.
No way. Their midfield is so disciplined. Nicolo Barella, Hakan Calhanoglu, those guys control the tempo of the game.
They dictate the flow.
Exactly. If they can establish control in the midfield, Juventus' counterattacking threat is neutralized.
Okay, so it sounds like a real battle for midfield supremacy is brewing.
For sure.
But let's not forget the psychological dimension of this rivalry. I mean, the Derby d'Italia is always a fiery affair.
Oh, yeah. Passion, intensity, history.
It's electric.
All of that can affect how the players perform. You remember that crazy 4-4 draw we talked about? Inter were cruising, and then, boom, the momentum shifted. Juventus came roaring back.
The magic of the Derby d'Italia.
You said it.
And speaking of magic, we've got some magical promotions cooked up here at Tips Moto for this match.
Oh, we do. Head over to our website or social media pages to check out all the latest offers. We've got something for everyone.
Awesome. All right, back to the pitch. We've talked tactics, but who are the key players, the guys who could really swing this match? Obviously for Juventus, Randal Kolomuani is the man of the moment.
Red hot form.
But for Inter, assuming Marcus Thuram is fit, he and Lautaro Martinez are a pretty lethal duo up front.
Oh, yeah, they can cause problems for any defense. And even if Thuram isn't fit, they have great backups.
Right. Arnautovic, Taremi, plenty of firepower.
But for me, the key battle, it's going to be in the midfield.
The engine room.
Juventus' Weston McKennie and Manuel Locatelli versus Inter's Barella and Calhanoglu. That's where the game is going to be won or lost.
It's going to be epic. A true clash of styles, a battle for every inch of the pitch. We'll be here all weekend, breaking it all down, giving you those last-minute insights before kickoff.
So stay tuned. We'll be back soon to talk about how and where to place those bets, and of course, where to find all our expert predictions.
Okay, so we've talked tactics, we've talked key players, but now let's talk about the fun stuff. Betting.
The moment we've all been waiting for.
We here at Tips Moto believe in informed betting. We want you to feel confident, excited when you're placing those bets.
Not stressed, not chasing losses.
Exactly.
Informed and in control. That's why we do all this, right?
Absolutely. The data, the analysis, those whispers from the training ground, it's all to help you make the smartest bets possible.
That's the Tips Moto way.
So where can our listeners find all those juicy expert predictions and those incredible Tips Moto promotions we keep talking about?
Well, first up, our website. All the latest odds, in-depth analysis, exclusive betting offers, it's all there.
It's a treasure trove of betting goodness.
It is. But we're not just about the website. We're all over social media, too.
Oh, yeah, we are everywhere. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, you name it. We're constantly sharing updates, insights, and those special promotions that make Tips Moto the absolute best place to bet on the Derby d'Italia.
Seriously, follow us.
You won't regret it. All right, so we've covered a ton of ground here. The stakes, the form, the tactics, the key players. But now for the big question, one everyone wants to know, who's going to win this thing? Juventus or Inter Milan?
Who do you think is going to take home the bragging rights in this Derby d'Italia?
I've got my prediction, and I know our supercomputer has been crunching the numbers, but we want to hear from you.
Head over to our social media, jump into the conversation, let us know who you're backing and why.
We love hearing from our fellow football fanatics. This Derby d'Italia is shaping up to be an absolute classic, and we can't wait to share the excitement with all of you. So join us on this wild ride, place your bets responsibly, and let's enjoy the beautiful game.